You talked about Bill Cosby when you were doing Meteor Man. Did you have a relationship with Bill after that?
Bill, you know, Dr. Cosby, I'm gonna call him by his real moniker. Dr. Cosby is a class act. When I was first starting on the Malcolm Nettie show, he called me over to the set of his show. And he said, yes, I hear you at Cancer also. I said, yes, July 15th. He said, I want you to sit down and study. It's obviously you're great, we all know it. But you got to learn the business, Eddie. Right? So I would go there literally for a week and study. And at the end of every rehearsal, he said, so what did you notice? I said, I noticed you would take the script, put it up on his feet, and then bring it to life, but add in your flavor. You didn't go just by the script. You knew the map, but you got there your own way, because once you get it on your feet and you actually interplaying with the other actor, other shit's gonna come out.
Yeah.
Right? The small little nuances that you can't write, a certain look, you know what I mean? A hand gesture, shit like that, right? So I'm watching that, and he was smoking study, his little stogie nigga, and laugh afterwards. Yeah, it's smart, he's smart, I like that. You know, we need more with brains, right? So, which helped me, you know, transitioning from just stand up where I can say whatever the fuck I want to say. And then they hand this little nigga off the streets, you know, $100,000+ a fucking week, and then put constraints on the motherfucker. I felt like I was handcuffed every motherfucking week on that show. It was a living hell for me. So, but you know, Dr. Cosby helped me out with that shit.
What do you think, you know, your take on what happened with Bill Cosby with the allegations and everything else like that?
Look, first off, you had to remember this was in the 70s, all right? I'm old enough to remember the 70s. The 70s is a different time, right? The 70s, motherfuckers all had Coke spoons around their fucking necklace. You go to the damn disco, nigga, the line is laid out on the table. Toot, toot, all right? Yeah. When you want to level out after a hit of cocaine, you get a Quaalude, all right? Yeah. So did he rape these bitches? All of them said the same thing. We went to the room. Why would you go to the room of a known married man? Right. Number one.
Meaning they're down to fuck anyways. Why would you go to a room, a hotel room of a known married man? And he incorporates this whole marriage thing in his comedy routines, and it's not a secret that he's married.
You understand me?
Okay. So they're down to fuck. Then they go back 30 years later and say, he raped me.
30 years. I don't understand that.
I mean,
that's like a motherfucker robbing me. And then I wait 30 years to call the police. I got robbed.
30 years ago.
In 1984.
Right, because if you notice, there was no...
And it's him!
Because it's past the statute of limitations, so there's no criminal charge.
There is a systematic effort to destroy every black male entertainer's image. They want us all to have an actress by name. Kobe raped a white woman in Colorado. Dr. Cosby raped 37 bitches and is still counting. Nobody leaves this business clean. Michael Jackson fucked little white children.
Michael Jordan?
Michael Jordan gambled.
Right, and then his dad got killed. And
you understand?
They try to tie that.
You're not going to die clean.
I mean, everything that Bill Cosby has built up, the decades of work that he stood behind.
The man has, you know, single-handedly, you know, sent a bunch of brothers and sisters to college.
Yeah.
You know, even if he didn't pay for it himself, he gave them the idea that it's possible, right? The motherfucker was so generous with his money, he bought colleges.
I know,
you understand me?
I know that I've seen some interviews.
And then some pussy is supposed to tear that down.
I've seen some interviews with...
Let's talk about this little motherfucking white boy who's a known motherfucking pedophile, the director that escaped overseas. What's that motherfucker's name?
Roman Polanski?
Yeah, I don't see them fucking with that motherfucker.
Well, I mean, he's
back at work. Yeah, he's back at work.
he's like in Sweden or something like that.
Yeah, he had to flee the country.
Yeah. I mean,
You understand me? He got to flee the country.
Right.
Michael Jackson might have wanted to flee the country.
Yeah.
He didn't get to flee. There's a difference.
Well, Michael Jackson was ultimately found innocent, though.
All three of the little motherfuckers came on. They're adults now. You can count them on the internet.
Yeah.
Saying it never motherfucking happened.
Yeah.
Our parents put us up to try to get
Right.
money out the nigga.
I think one of them.
Did mainstream media ever pick that truth up and
Not
put
so
it
much.
out there?
One of them actually, I think, killed himself at one point. I think. Well, one of the accusers or some shit like that.
Yeah. Because his conscience done fucked him up.
Yeah.
You can't run away from yourself. Everywhere you go, there you are.
One of your famous routines was Michael Jackson on crack.
Yes.
How
That
did
was one of his favorite jokes.
Okay, so you and Michael
I
talked
knew
about
Mike
that?
very well.
So Michael
he was
Jackson.
a very deep brother.
What was the Michael Jackson on crack routine like?
I said, anybody that fuck their face up like that got to be on something. Who knew it was propofol?
You thought it was crack.
Hey.
Okay. So Michael Jackson actually approached you at one point, or you approached him, or how did that work?
It was actually at Neverland.
You went to his house.
Yes.
Okay.
There was some kind of event going on. And I knew a friend of the family.
Okay.
So they brought me out to the house. And then Michael found I was out there. I was out with my kids, nigga, enjoying the Neverland shit. So one of the dudes came out and said, Mr. Jackson would like to meet you. I think they talking about Joe. I know Papa Joe from out here in Vegas. You know? Mm-hmm. So I thought it was talking about Joe. He's like, no, Michael wants to meet you. I'm like, nigga, shit. Man. So I'm nervous like a motherfucker, nigga. I'm like, shit.
You've been talking shit about him.
Yeah, did you see the joke and shit? So he has a healthy sense of humor. He said that's one of my favorite jokes. So anyway, we got to talking and found out we both got elastic imaginations and shit, you know. And first time we met, the second time was in Miami. He was out there recording or something, and it was like a 5-6-star hotel. And we walked in this motherfucker. Michael rented out 6 floors.
Okay.
Nobody can get close to this nigga.
Right.
Never comes in the front door, always comes in the service entrance. So, me and Damon Coke Daniels, we wrote My Baby Daddy together. Mm-hmm. So I take him out there because we're gonna do the script. So we open the door, and I'm expecting security to be there, right this way, Mr. Jackson. Michael opens the door. He had the tape on his nose. He's like, yeah, come on in. Coke just sitting there. Can't move. I'm like, nigga, come on in. So Michael's sitting on the bed. He's like, you want something to drink? I said, yeah, I'll take some champagne. You know, Coke, like, I just have some water. He's nervous, can't even talk right. So anyway, we got the bouncing ideas and shit. And my brother runs out the room. He like, nigga, I can't believe it. Y'all motherfuckers just finished each other's sentences and shit. So Michael's like, sit on the bed. I'm like, nigga, that's how you got in trouble. Sit on the bed.
Oh, so you're making pedophile jokes.
Like a motherfucker.
And how's he taking those jokes?
He's a real nigga. He's. I think the reason he liked me because I would just talk to him like a regular person.
Right.
A lot of people around here would just kiss his ass. Yes, Mr. Jackson, yes. I'm like, nigga, you ain't the only motherfucker that can moonwalk. You know what I mean? So, and he was just a real motherfucker with a healthy sense of humor, nigga. He can set your ass up.
Yeah, I heard Mike was kind of gangster. Like, I heard Mike would, like, beat up his monkey every so often.
Let me put it like this. You know what's gangster? I own Sony's publishing. Every time Beyonce and Jay-Z make a song, Michael was getting a check. I bought the Beatles.
Yeah.
While I'm doing the video with the Beatles. That's gangster.
Right.
Michael walks with Paul McCartney. If you're gonna sell the Beatles, how much you sell them for? Oh, I don't know, about 60 million. Wow, that's a lot of money. That motherfucker go right to his trailer, get his people on the phone. Paul don't find out till the next fucking day Michael done bought the Beatles. That motherfucker come on and say, how can you buy Beatles? How can you buy Beatles? He said 60, I gave you 64. That's a lot of money. The girl is mine.
Your publishing's mine.
This nigga's a gangster, nigga.
Michael Jackson was gangster.
You don't make $1 billion being no punk motherfucker.
Yeah. I remember I had this long conversation with Ronnie Newt. You know who that was?
Newt.
Ronnie Newt was he was a gangster from the Bay Area, but he had a group called the Neutrons.
I remember the Neutrons.
Yeah, the Neutrons. Those were his kids, actually.
All right.
And I remember he was originally, I think, signed to Joe Jackson, so he was around Michael Jackson. He had pictures of, he was wearing the glove at his house and stuff like that. And I remember he showed me this picture. He said, listen, this is a picture of my son at Michael Jackson's house in his underwear. I took this picture myself. They tried to pay me $100,000 to say that Michael Jackson molested my son, and use this picture as evidence.
Mm-hmm.
I said, let me tell you something. Michael Jackson molested my son, I would have killed Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson never touched my son.
Nigga, and Bubbles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody would have made it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So,
He said all that was bullshit.
I knew that from Jump Street. I was the only celebrity that went to court with the nigga the first day.
Mm.
Yeah.
You actually went to court with him
Yes, I did.
during the whole...
The nigga rode in my limo. He was so nervous he didn't book a car.
Mm.
I drove from my house in Malibu at the time down to Neverland. And him, Catherine was in the car, and I think it was Jermaine. And we pulled up, and they had the fucking red carpet rolled out at the courthouse. Rows of motherfucking cameras. I'm like, nigga, is this a movie premiere or a court date?
Yeah.
And Michael was nervous, nigga. I was like, this ain't nothing but a hearing.
Yeah.
I said, I done been to court when I'm figuring out how much time I'm getting.
Yeah.
You walk in and say guilty or not guilty, and you walk the fuck out.
Yeah.
And the nigga walked out, jumped on top of the SUV, and started dancing for the fucking fans.
I remember that.
The judge was mad, talking about we late. If there's 10,000 people on the fucking street, we in the car, we on time, we can't get through the motherfuckers till the police show up and move the crowd out the way.
Right.
But he was a G. He stood up in that courtroom, niggas, not guilty, and did a dance move, nigga.